which is actually coming along quite well.
We're live.
Oh, hello. I'm trying to get into the Twitch chat so that I can link people articles and stuff. Because people like it when we do what we're supposed to do on the show, which is usually cover topics, but right now it's covering you mustard. I told you I was going to do the joke. I told them I was going to do the joke. Oh. Oh. Hello. Welcome to the WAN show. I don't know why he's not talking. I don't know what topics we have today.
I'm just trolling you. So, welcome to the WAN show, guys. It's going to be a great show today, I hope. We're definitely dressed for a great show today. I got my wiener head thing going on here.
I have a nozzle head.
Yeah, Luke's got his mustard cap.
Does it have a thing on the end?
I think there
It's
is.
open.
Yeah, there is a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a mustard hole.
I do.
In your costume.
I do.
Anything sounds dirty when you add a hole to it. It's like mustard hole.
Hot dog hole.
Dog hole. Corn hole. Okay, well that one's fairly well established.
Oh my goodness.
So lots of great stuff today. The FBI's advice on ransomware: just pay the ransom. Woo! The eJaculator, now on IndieGogo.
What?
Now, we don't generally cover IndieGogo and Kickstarter topics anymore because most of it is a steaming pile of fail. But this one is going to be a different kind of steamy.
You missed the steaming pile of ejaculate.
Yeah, I was being a little more subtle
missed
than
that joke.
I didn't miss it.
Is that what my mustard cap does?
I never miss.
Wow.
What else we got here? Arkham Knight. Finally back on Steam. I was reading the article about this and I was like, what do you mean Arkham Knight's launching? Wasn't that like a billion years ago? I'd actually forgotten about all the controversy because I think I played it like a little bit and I was like, wow. This is Arkham City without any relevant villains. Who cares? So anyway, we already rolled the intro, so I guess I'm kind of doing the intro things now, but I would normally.
I've heard. Oh, I guess
the intro
we're
now,
not discussing the
but
things?
I can't.
We're just doing callouts?
Yeah, I think I was doing callouts.
Okay.
I sort of got the ball got rolling, and then my balls were all rolled.
Oh.
And then
I don't think hot dogs have balls.
it got awkward. Well, they could have cottage cheese balls.
Wow.
Some people like cottage cheese on hot
cheese on a hot
dogs.
dog?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
There's some really interesting hot dogs.
People put some crazy stuff on their hot dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Are we talking about Arkham Knight or are we doing more callouts?
As long as you don't get poop on your hot dog.
Wow.
Because it would taste gross. That's why it's a problem.
Yes, it would. I should use that chair.
No.
Why? I'm kidding.
Okay. Okay. So let's get into our first topic here. Let's do the Surface Book issues. So everyone and their dog in the tech world was like freaking out over the Surface Book. I certainly was. I've got one on order, or at least I thought I had one on order. No, I actually do have one on order. Those of you who follow on Twitter will have maybe seen the epic saga that is my order of the Surface Book.
Holy crap.
Where I ordered it 3 weeks ago.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And then I wanted to cancel my Surface Pro 4 order, which was also on the same order because I wanted to review them both. So he's Vivi. So I canceled my Surface Pro 4 order because a local Microsoft rep dropped a Surface Pro 4 off with me the next day after I had placed it. And I was like, oh, great. I don't have to buy one now. That's fantastic. So I canceled that. Then I got an email like 2 weeks later saying, your order for the Surface Book has been canceled. And I was like, yo, ring, ring. No, I never canceled that. I definitely still want it. Please get your act together because I actually need that. Thank you. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, it's just a bug. A bunch of emails were accidentally sent out. It's all fine. It's all good. I was like, okay, great. So then I happened to be digging around in my Microsoft account because some credit card issue, something. I had to double check some previous transactions. And I was like, this order is canceled. It says canceled. So I finally get in touch with someone. It's like the live chat is the hardest thing to find on their site when you're looking for it.
Yeah.
When you're not looking for it, it's like right there.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the weirdest thing because I'm sure half of you are gonna be like, yeah, Linus, the live chat is like right here. And I'm like, that's fine. But if you go to the contact us page, it's not. So.
That was like EA's site where if you have Canadian English selected, it won't give you the phone number at a certain time because their English line is open at different times than their French line. So if their English line is open, they won't display the English phone number. So you go for contact us and they're like, we recommend for your problem because it's advanced that you call us. Here's the number. And then it's just blank.
Right. So anyway, I finally get in touch with someone and it takes forever. The guy's like, can I get your name? Can I get these security questions? Can I do this? Can I, stroke your child's hair gently while you watch? I'm like, no, can I give you an order number? Can I just give you an order number you look at it? He's like, no, I can't look up your order number unless I do all this crap. I'm like, why? I just want to know if my order is canceled. So finally, they have this phone verification SMS thing. I'm like, here's my number. It's like, oh, sorry, can we do that again? I'm like, yes, fine. This is the slowest support call that I have ever been on to verify that an order is in your system, but fine. He's like, no, it's canceled. I'm like, okay, so I really need this. He's like, okay, I'll put in a new order. I'm like, so that means my order date will be the 27th, not like the 8th when I actually ordered it. He's like, yep. I'm like, so this is back ordered. There is a wait list. I want one now. He's like, there's nothing I can do. I'm like, so I finally did it. I finally played the reviewer card. I was like, look, I really need this. I have a YouTube channel with 2 million subscribers. It is in your best interest to get me a laptop sooner so I can make my video. It's like, there is nothing I can do. Bullshit. There is always something you can do. It's called get off your ass, get up, go talk to someone, and get the problem solved because I never canceled my order. Anyway, so I'm mad, but
I haven't even heard this story.
I'm not going to let that affect my impressions.
Wait, they didn't
of the
actually
Surface
do
Book.
anything?
No, he just placed a new. No, he offered me free express shipping, which is $10 on a $3,000 order. So I was like, that's a nice gesture. I'm still pissed, but at least I saved $10.
$10.
$10, thank you.
You can buy McDonald's, which is kind of gross.
Too. Does McDonald's have mustard? They don't have hot dogs. This is like the anti-McDonald's axis of evil right now.
I don't think they have. Someone might be able to correct. I don't really go there.
Like they might have like a mustardy relish, but I don't know if they have straight up mustard. Anyway,
they have relish.
You can get mustard in packets there.
Can you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, is there relish?
The burger would probably have mustard.
I don't know. The Big Mac doesn't for sure. It's just covered in mayo. I think. Okay, it's been a while. All right, anyway, so Surface Book issues.
They have honey mustard.
So, yes, thank you. Honey mustard. You are my honey mustard.
Oh.
Okay, let's actually do a topic now. So the Surface Book issues. So I and everyone and their dog was excited before I went off on that tangent about this thing because it looks fantastic.
It looks
cool. But there appear to be a number of issues with people reporting crashes and lockups, random trackpad freezes, some screen wobble due to weight imbalance between the screen and keyboard.
Wow.
No ambient light sensor controlling the brightness of backlit keys. That really seems like a very first world problem to me. No quad-core CPU options. Yeah, that's kind of to be expected. Like some of these reported issues really don't seem like that big of a deal.
They're not issues. They're features that you would like to have.
The Dell 34-inch ultra-wide cannot be used with the dock. That kind of sucks. So it looks like maybe there's some bandwidth loss or like a switching issue or whatever with the DisplayPort adapter for the dock. Technically, 3440 by 1440 should be perfectly doable on DisplayPort 1.2. In fact, Acer's ultra wide, the Predator X34, our sample does 100 hertz. Most people are reporting anywhere from the 95 to 100 hertz range. So the actual interface is plenty fast. So it looks like there's some other kind of issue. This is really bad. This is where things start to get pretty brutal. Not being able to boot with the dock, having to unplug and plug it back in. Not being able to detach the dock. I've seen people having issues with driver crashes when they detach the dock. That's not actually in our dock, but that is something that I've seen reported. So
apparently playing this one, I love this one. Playing MPEG files just when it's in laptop mode works fine, but if you plug it into the dock, it gives you this undecryptable error code.
So I didn't order the dock.
Or unable to decode error?
Because I'm planning to use it just as a laptop/tablet, not also as a desktop. So I actually won't be able to comment on a lot of these issues. But what this has demonstrated to me is that I definitely, instead of doing like a normal review, I need to do more of like a long-term impressions review,
right,
more like an I switched. So you can.
How is it actually like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get it all set up and I'll use it for like a couple weeks, and then I'll let you guys know how it goes. But that'll only happen when it arrives.
That's what we're doing with the Steam controllers.
Yeah, when it arrives.
So
I don't know. So Steam controllers. So a lot of people were like noticing that, oh, hey, so you posted on Instagram your Steam controllers, and then you posted on Instagram your Xbox Elite controllers, and then the Xbox Elite video is out already. Hold on, where's that Steam controller video, dog? So you want to explain what the methodology is with the Steam controller video?
With the Steam controller video, we already have a video out from like a while ago when I used one at a show, and as far as I can tell, the time between then and now was largely used on manufacturing, not changing features. And it's kind of a wonko controller. Like, testing out the Xbox Elite, it's like, okay, this is an Xbox controller, but with a bunch of upgraded stuff. So that's a lot more simple, and people would be a lot more familiar with it than a controller that has like touchpads and wonko stuff going on. So I took them home, and I'm going to be doing a long-term impressions thing. So I've got a few weeks. I'm going to try that out.
And the hope is that because Luke plays video games, he will play video games with them. But we actually purchased 2 of them for a couple of reasons. So here's actually the coverage we did back at PAX East 2015. So not a whole ton of a lot has changed since then. But basically the rationale behind the 2 controllers was that Luke will always use one. He has to use a Steam controller for his gaming until he's done this video. And then he's got an extra for any guests that come over. So at least one guest has to use the Steam controller, and he can get impressions both from himself over the longer term and from people who just have to kind of pick it up and run with it.
Yeah.
So it should make for a pretty interesting video. I actually am going to cover it more as like a side note. Because I've actually got 2 Steam machines. I don't know if you know this. I've got 2 Steam machines either here already or en route. So I have the Zotac one, and then I have the Alienware one. So the Alienware one for sure comes with the Steam controller. So I will be reviewing the Alienware. I think the Windows version is called the Alpha, but I think it's just called the Steam machine, Alienware Steam machine.
Oh.
If it's not the Alpha, I'm not sure. Don't worry, I'll sort out all these details before I do the video. But I'll be sort of talking about using it. I can already tell you guys though that if you don't have big hands, Steam controller is probably not a thing for you.
Oh.
I noticed it immediately when picking it up. Actually, yeah. So, but we'll see. My impressions could change. I mean. It's really funny because...
they probably can't hear you very well right now.
Yeah, this reminds me of something that I've been asking for so long that I feel like my request for it has become irrelevant. So back when I first saw the Xperia Z3 Compact, I was like, oh yeah, that's great. Like an iPhone-sized Android phone that... is the right size for my hands. Because I was like, yeah, all the high-end Android phones are so big. But it's gotten to the point where I've gotten so used to larger phones that this thing just feels so small to me now. So the Z5, on that subject, the Xperia Z5 Compact just arrived today, and I'm going to be working on my review of that next. I also have a Z5 Premium en route, the one with the 4K display.
Nice.
And then after that is probably going to be the Droid Turbo 2. So I have
There you go.
a full plate on the phone side of things. Look, it's updating. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, because this will be the first high-end small Android phone that I have, I think, ever used.
Yeah, because you didn't use the Z3 Compact, did you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I never actually touched one outside of like with a huge like security device on the back of it in a store, like not enough to get a good impression. So far, this is looking really promising. So
it looks really nice.
But the difference between this one and I think it was the Z3 Compact, where the spec was very similar to the full size, is that this one is significantly downgraded in terms of spec. Like it's got
game?
No.
Okay.
But it's got a Snapdragon 810, which is an older processor. It's got a 720p screen, which I have made the argument and continue to make the argument is just fine for a 4.7-inch display. But I need to spend some time with it and find out if that downgrade of the spec matters to me.
Someone's asking, what about the Nexus?
I don't really have any plans to do the 6P or the 5X. They both look like PHONE phones to me. I don't really have anything to say because, okay, here's something that people have been giving me crap about a little bit lately, and that is that every time I do a monitor video, I'm like, wow, it's the best thing ever. There's a reason for that. And the reason is not all the $100 bills that the manufacturer is slipping in my back pocket.
There's a lot of innovation in monitors right now.
There's a lot of innovation in monitors. It is moving so
There's
fast.
a lot of monitors that are coming out that can genuinely say we are the first person to do X or Y.
Yes. And the other thing is that I am pretty selective about the monitors that every once in a while I screw up. Like that ViewSonic VP, whatever, the 4K one. Really nice monitor, but the reason that I requested that sample, like 3 months before I ended up doing the video, was it was the first HDMI 2.0 display that I had seen. And so that was going to be part of my focus, is I really wanted to talk about HDMI 2.0. But by the time I got to that video, because we got wrapped up in moving, I had already done another HDMI 2.0 display that was like way more relevant. And I was like, oh crap, now I don't really have much to say other than, hey, this is a really nice monitor, which it is. But what I generally do is I don't even accept a review unit of something that doesn't bring a new experience to the table, aside from just being a monitor. So when people are like, oh yeah, Linus, can you review X? The answer, if it's very similar to something I've already done, is a lot of the time no, because I am not a non-tech. I'm never going to be a non-tech. That's what it is. I am not TFT Central. So if you guys are looking for the really nitty-gritty details down to the oscilloscope, look at the pixel, rise and fall of voltages, blah, blah, blah. If you guys want that stuff's out there. But for me, it's more about, I want to talk about what the experience of this product is and what makes it different from what else is out there from an experience standpoint. So
it's very frustrating to do a review of something that's super similar to another thing that you've done, because you want to say something new. You want to add something to the table. You don't want to just be like, oh, whatever, have a good day. You want to say something interesting. Yeah. And when you're basically doing it twice, that's really dry.
So why am I doing this? Because it's the first time I've used a high-end compact Android phone. Also, it intrigues me because the lower spec is lower in a way that I don't believe is going to bother me, but it still has a 2,700 milliamp hour battery. And with the way that Sony's implementation of Android handles battery life, plus Marshmallow, I think it's running Marshmallow, I'll have to double check, I could be looking at a phone that legitimately gets me through 2 days. So
awesome.
So I'm super stoked on that. The reason I'm doing the Z5 Premium is that it'll be the first 4K display that I've seen on a phone, so I can really talk about how that changes or doesn't change, which is what I suspect is going to happen, the experience. And then the reason I'm to be doing the Droid Turbo 2 is because of the shatterproof screen and because the Droid Turbo has for an entire year managed to hold the throne as my daily driver preferred phone, in spite of its very inferior camera compared to the LG G4, the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, compared to the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6s. So that is whatever I was talking about. I don't remember what it was anymore.
It's been a really long time, and I don't remember either.
Yeah, so cool.
Well, we were talking about the Z3 Compact, but I don't remember why we were talking about the Z3 Compact.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so here's an article. And we actually had a really great suggestion from a viewer last week. I didn't have time to deal with it before the show today, but they had suggested an alternate layout for when we're viewing articles, for where it's like bigger on the one side, and then Luke and I are kind of stacked on the side, that I really liked. We're going to do that in the future. Thank you for that suggestion. But for now, we're sticking with this. So this is kind of like the suckiest thing ever, and there's a lot of really ignorant comments about this. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people saying like, "Oh, that's like terrible advice. Just like paying the money to the like jack bums who are like, yeah, we got some ransomware installed on your computer. We encrypted all your data. You got to pay us to unlock it." They should just be able to fix it. You know what? That's the double-edged sword of encryption.
Yeah. If they were able to fix that, people would be freaking out about that.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of pick your poison here, I guess.
Yeah. So basically, for those of you who don't know what ransomware is, what it is it's a type of malware that gets onto your computer, encrypts your data, and then sends the encryption key back to the ransomer. They get in touch with you, and they basically go, "Nya, nya, 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 ha, 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 ha. We have all your data. We may or may not do anything with it. Like, they may not even care about doing something with the data. But basically, if you want to... No, actually, hold on. Okay, sorry. To be clear, they don't necessarily have your data. They can just have encrypted your device that still has your data.
It's just encrypted on your device.
Sorry. I sort of started rolling and misspoke there. So basically they go, you can't have access to your data unless you pay us this sum of money, and we will send you the encryption keys, and then you can unencrypt your data and go about your merry day, and hopefully you learned a valuable lesson. And basically, the biggest issue here, like the biggest targets for this are businesses, not individual users. Because individual users, what? They're going to pay $100, $150, $200? Because the cyber criminals here, they don't want to demand $5,000 and get nothing. They want to, this is a volume game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to hit 1,000 people for $100 each, and they made $100,000. That's the point.
But if you find a really big fish business and you know that you did, then you can probably ask a huge amount of money.
Now you can start asking for, $100,000, $500,000, however much, depending on what it is that you've gotten from them. Did you get the president of the company's laptop? Did you get this? Did you get that? So basically, the FBI issued a note in June identifying CryptoWall as the most common ransomware affecting individuals and businesses. They received 992 complaints between April and June of 2014 to 2015.
That's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad, except that the losses are totaling $18 million.
Which is very bad.
For those cases, which is very, very bad.
And raises the probably targeting businesses thing even more.
So they basically said, the reason that a lot of folks are getting into ransomware is that it's extremely effective, and that the only way to avoid it is to back up your data regularly to just restore the infected system to a prior state to avoid paying a ransom. That's pretty much all there is to it. And all of the usual, hey, please, put on your common sense glasses when you're browsing the internet stuff applies. But, the cold hard truth of it is that a lot of people don't know and don't care because the internet plays such a small role in their life, aside from needing to use their computer for Excel.
Common sense is also not enough.
Common sense is relative.
It's also not the people that are like, oh, I just won't run an antivirus at all because I know how to use the internet. That's no. Sorry, but no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that, and I mean, the fact that a file is .exe is bad.
Yeah.
It's that's common sense to me.
Yeah.
But not to my mom or my aunt. Why would she know that?
Oh, it's a picture. I'm gonna do the thing.
It could be called cutecats.exe, and the email could say, hey, it's a picture of cute cats. And they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is fun. So this is an IndieGogo project that, in the age of the internet, was definitely destined for success. The eJaculator, VR headset synced, stroking adult toy. I actually don't know why they pixelated this. I mean, it's just a piece of plastic.
Probably so you can show it in Japan.
Sorry?
So you can show it in Japan?
What? What are
Isn't
you
that
talking
a
about?
thing?
I don't know. Is it?
I thought Japanese, like, porn and stuff, you had to pixelate it.
But that's not porn. It's a piece of plastic.
But it's a recreation of whatever.
Is that right?
I don't... They have to do it in, like, animated stuff, too, so I would assume so.
Huh.
I don't know. The Twitch chat will probably know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they will. So anyway, it's $130 for the eJaculator. Basically, I think, sort of looking at the product here, it should be fairly self-explanatory what it does. What does it do? It strokes, folks.
I thought these things already existed.
So you download the app, you connect the app to the eJaculator, you put on the headset, you navigate using the wireless remote, choose your fantasy, and prepare for, you know, there you go.
Really? That's a video?
What beta users are saying. Yep, so you guys can definitely
Oh
go
my
check that
goodness.
out. We're not gonna play any of these videos on the WAN show. We're trying to keep it somewhat, I don't know, what are we, like PG? What's higher, PG or PG-13? Let's go with, I think PG is the like worst one. So yeah,
Really?
we're trying to stay PG here. But yeah, it's gonna cost you $130 to get the VR set as an early adopter. So it includes the device, one VR headset, one remote, one battery, one silicone sleeve, and shipping to the US and Canada is $16, with the rest of the world being $24. So, you know what? I think we have to do it. I think we don't really have a choice here. Straw poll. Will you buy one?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going
Yes.
to do should we buy one. I was like, whoa.
Should we review it?
PG-13 is higher than PG.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then...
It goes G and PG to PG-13 to R to NC-17, then to not rated.
Okay. Maybe we should try and make our show not rated one day. All right, here comes the straw poll. It's coming.
I'm so interested in this.
I am super interested in this too. All right,
I'm
let's
surprised, though, that they didn't try to launch their IndieGogo in, like, early 2016 when the actual headsets come out.
Yeah, but they've got their own like kind of
it comes with a headset thing?
Yeah, it comes with a headset. I think you just drop your phone in it. I haven't checked out phone compatibility or anything like that. Like I actually haven't looked that closely.
Turnip is winning this vote. Yes is losing this vote. But it has a lot of votes.
Blah, blah, blah. This is just the beginning. We want you to be along for the ride. Wow, their campaign is just so cringe. Just way beyond cringe. I love this. Here's some of the prototypes. There is no way that I would put anything of mine anywhere near any of those prototypes. And that was when they were new.
Yeah.
Gear Factory manually producing gears. Like they've really put some thought into this puppy here. Hey, there you go. That one's not censored.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
12 inches tall, 4 inches wide. Well, I guess I couldn't really do the review anyway.
Oh,
It's oversized.
big.
Too big.
Oh,
Too big.
I meant you were, but
Oh, yeah.
I tried to give you credit on that one.
Yeah, you tried, but it was no one was going to believe that. Discreet packaging and labels. All right, so let's have. Okay, we won't do another topic in the meantime. Let's just go ahead and have a look at the results there. So, will you buy one? We've got a whopping 28% of our audience that is planning to buy the eJaculator. Now, just to be clear, guys, we are not suggesting that you buy it while it is an IndieGogo campaign. I would definitely wait for it to actually roll off a real production line. I would wait for independent
I was gonna say, wait till you can
third-party
see
reviews.
if there's a review.
Yeah.
I
It's
would-
like, it sawed off my penis at the base.
Things can go wrong with the Surface Book, and it's annoying. Things go wrong with this. It's probably a little bit worse.
It was terrible.
My life will never be the same. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Moving on.
The worst topic we have ever done.
Is it?
I actually legitimately don't know. All right, this is interesting. Microsoft has, this is such a sensational, I have a screen sharing that whole time. This is such a sensationalist headline. Has Microsoft admitted defeat in the console sales war? Over on Tech Radar. Okay, that, very sensationalist, but it is related to a legitimate piece of news. So Microsoft announced their quarterly results, and it lacked hardware shipment metrics. So when they were questioned as to why those were absent, Microsoft's source responded saying it was no longer using such figures as its measurement of success. So they're actually going to focus on Xbox Live figures as the leading stat. And it should be noted that Xbox Live users rose sharply last quarter, growing by 28% to 39 million users. So would you argue that that is a legitimate thing for them to? Okay, so first of all, would you say that that move has anything to do with Microsoft admitting defeat in the console race?
No, to be completely honest. Not admitting defeat, because that's a little harsh, but they might be trying to make it look prettier. Because now that they can, when they're doing online stats, that's something that will continue to grow over time as long as they're not losing users. Whereas hardware shipment might mean that just less people are adopting it.
Yeah, which is not necessarily meaningful. Now, with that said, the Xbox One
didn't have as much adoption even early on compared to the PlayStation.
It was a little rough out of the gate compared to the PlayStation 4, but I would look at their $60 a year for Xbox Live Gold as indicative of, probably more indicative of the profitability of that customer, because it's already fairly well established that in terms of just hardware alone, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One were not particularly profitable, especially when you compare it to, well, really not anything. I mean, the console hardware.
They were more profitable than previous consoles.
Yes.
Because they made a little bit of money, whereas usually they would lose a little bit of money on the console.
But nothing compared to something like the Wii, where it was basically powered by like peanut butter and, you know, elastic
peanut butter
bands.
and happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
I just got Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Pretty fun?
You can't be upset while playing that game.
Okay.
It's actually wonderful. It's very fun. Yeah.
So I mean, that's never really been an indication of the success of the business unit, because it doesn't really indicate profitability. What it does indicate is the installed user base. So if Microsoft's going to switch metrics and go, okay, we are less interested in how many physical Xbox units there are out there, and we are more interested in what the installed user base of Xbox Live members is, because that's actually a more meaningful number to someone like a game developer.
Yeah.
How many people are sitting there paying a subscription to use their Xbox? And if we're going to look at that as more indicative of the profitability of that transaction, someone who bought an Xbox and it literally sits on a shelf in their warehouse is not a good customer. Someone who bought an Xbox and uses it for 5 years, paying $60 a year, just gave you another $300 of money that is not necessarily pure profit, because a lot of that goes into development of things like their cloud-assisted rendering or building
Which
out.
apparently isn't helping them that much.
Which, no, it isn't. But that doesn't mean they weren't working on it, and that doesn't mean that wasn't expensive. I'm just saying that the hardware is just a transaction. Here's a piece of hardware. Here's how much it costs us to build it. Here you go. And if that person buys a bunch of games, then great. But games and live memberships are still being looked at as indicators of success. So I totally disagree with that headline. And I actually agree quite strongly with Microsoft changing the way that they're measuring the success of a console to look more at software sales and membership sales, because that's
more logical and it's more favorable for them. I don't necessarily think it was admitting defeat. They're not stopping producing Xbox Ones and just being like, oh, well, you guys won.
Yeah. And if Sony sells, let's say in the lifetime of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, if Sony sells 100 million and Microsoft sells 60 million, and Microsoft made a bunch of money on a bunch of people buying Xbox Live memberships and bought a bunch of games. I was looking into it. Apparently the Xbox One is beating the PlayStation 4 in terms of game sales. So hey, there's lots of different ways to be successful. If you sell 60 million units, is that a failure? Well, I would probably say no.
I don't think you necessarily won in terms of hardware sales.
Yes.
But overall, there's more categories to look at. That being said, using the Xbox One a little bit for the controller review, God, I hate that thing. Holy crap.
Not the controller, right? You liked the controller.
The controller was great.
Oh, okay.
The controller was awesome. I don't like Xbox One controllers.
I was like, what video did I watch?
Yeah, no. I don't like Xbox One controllers, but
Yeah.
the Elite is actually pretty solid, and that's largely because of the trigger stops.
The trigger stops.
I hate the normal triggers.
For me, the other big one on the Elite controller, and as much as this is a stupid thing where you could kind of go, well, actually, Linus, the solution to that is just to go buy an Xbox 360 controller, is I really, really don't like the ABXY buttons on the Xbox One controller. They're too, I want to say ticky. I know that's not a word. Like the tactile feel is
the
too.
feedback that
Yeah, I actually like the kind of mushier feel of the Xbox 360 controller, and the
You
Xbox
must
Elite
hate
feels
the
very similar.
Sabertooth then, because the Sabertooth are like mechanical.
Oh,
keys.
I used the Sabertooth for about 4 seconds, and then I handed it to you to do the review. If you recall how that went down. Yeah.
So that's why you handed that off.
Well, I was super stoked on it. I was like super excited. I was like, yeah, high-end controller, man. Let's do this. Luke's job. Because, I mean, okay, to be clear, I could have done it. But it would have been needlessly negative because a lot of people like that. And so handing it to someone who's willing to look at it a bit more objectively, I think is being more fair to the product. Like if I see a product that I look at and I go, I cannot review this objectively. Like you did the Note 2 or 3?
I think so. Yeah.
Note 3 or something like that.
A long time ago.
Because I looked at it and I went, this is way too big. I cannot hold it. My entire review is going to be about how I dropped it and broke it. Why am I going to bother to subject you guys to this? Yeah. So, got people saying stop rambling. Stop watching this show. This whole show is rambling.
Hey, what did you... What do you think this was?
I'm dressed as a wiener.
Like we had a miscommunication issue going on, because that's not what this is.
Okay, to be clear, I don't actually want you to stop. Oh, he's gone.
Oh.
I want everyone to watch.
Mustard can.
But I also want to ramble. Okay, let's move on to our next thing. Sennheiser, good guys Sennheiser, opens up their corporate building to refugees.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to really say about this, and the news source is in German, so yes, I will be translating that. Thank you. So given the acute situation, Sennheiser has the Hanover region offered to accommodate refugees for free in their corporate building. The commitment of the company is exemplary and deserves the highest recognition, et cetera, et cetera. That is the subheadline. So there you go.
That's pretty badass.
They've got up to 300 refugees that are housed there. And I can tell you, having been to Sennheiser's facility there, wow, that is some nice refugee housing.
Yeah.
It's a super, super nice place. Very clean. The cafeteria is great.
I wonder if they get access to the cafeteria, because that food was actually really good.
I really doubt it. Like an extra
probably
300 people would
That's
put a lot of load.
money. Yeah.
A lot of load on the staff. Like it's not, what are they going to double their staff
yeah,
overnight,
that
right? But yeah, so in March 2016, the building can be converted into a dormitory for about 150 people. Will also be used as a reception center and a place for social gatherings for refugees. So cool stuff. I mean, we love those guys. It's no secret. We've worked with Sennheiser in the past. They sponsored our trip to that stupid show Brandon likes. NAB. Sorry?
Sennheiser has opened a corporate building in Hanover.
I don't remember exactly what region.
No,
corporate building. Sorry, not the HQ.
Yeah, how
Sorry,
it's
my bad.
worded, it sounds like it might be somewhere else.
Yeah, it looks like it's a different one.
Interesting. Okay.
So anyway.
It's probably still super nice.
Yeah, the point is, good guys, Sennheiser. We like those guys. We've worked with them a fair bit. All right. Wow.
Whoa.
This,
I guess neither of us have read this one.
I missed this. I straight up missed this.
This is awesome.
And I apologize because this is
Holy
the best
crap.
thing ever. Single-player games with dead authentication servers ruled DMCA exempt. So it is officially, it appears, I'm going to go through the notes because whenever Luke and I haven't gone through something, we do usually have pretty good notes on it.
Yeah. Back in April, a petition was launched to exempt abandoned games from Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Yep.
So that is applying to single-player games with their servers shut down. Personally, I think this should apply to multiplayer games with their servers shut down as well, but hopefully we'll get there eventually.
Yep. So basically, page 52 to 56 of the U.S. Copyright Office's ruling on the petition, allowing for modification and copying of video games only if they have single-player components which require online authentication to check.
This would mean that there would be able to be very legal websites distributing games.
Yes.
That's pretty epic. I'm interested as to who's going to jump on that.
That's very interesting stuff. So the games must have been shut down / abandoned for at least 6 months. I mean, this is such good news because, and the timing is actually not too bad because right now it's not a huge issue. There aren't too many games.
But it's going to be that
But
way.
it's going to be massive. It is going to be a massive problem.
Although
5
one
years
thing
from
that
now.
I'm a little bit worried about is this is going to even more incentivize stupid, useless multiplayer, which happens a lot, and I'm kind of tired of it.
Like, you mean just unnecessary multiplayer modules that contribute nothing?
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second, because allowing only if they have single-player components which require online authentication to check. So yeah. So if you have online authentication, authentication. If you have online authentication and you have single-player that requires it, then get wrecked. Basically, it is legal to copy your game.
Epic.
So
Super
the U.S.
epic.
copyright will permit preservationists to modify console firmware in order to make games playable, only if used for non-commercial purposes in institutions that are open to the public and/or unaffiliated researchers.
That'll
So
happen.
I would expect that someone like a private collector / enthusiast could consider themselves a researcher. Like, I mean, I think this is going to be it. The thing about moving the line to make it gray is that it actually just kind of opens up more gray area, because in the past it was very black and white. It still does not allow for video game owners to modify games for local or multiplayer play. So it's very specific what is allowed and what is not. If it has a single-player component that requires online authentication, then you can unlock that functionality and copy it so that people can use it, and not for commercial use and all that kind of stuff. That is basically fantastic news, and
pretty
I
cool.
absolutely love it.
I'm sure you could still set up like a please donate to my PayPal.
Yeah, I don't know, because for commercial use is pretty broad.
But donate usage.
Yeah, if you're making a certain amount of money, I think it's commercial regardless of whether it's a donation or not. Like if the Linus Tech Tips forum is run purely off of donations, which it is, sort of, I mean, no, there's ads on it. Okay, no, but if it was run purely off of
The
donations.
ads don't make a ton because
Yeah.
ad block.
Well, there's a lot of reasons the ads don't make a ton of money.
Also that.
We're not going to get into that. But if it was run purely off of donations, but it was making, a fair amount of money a month, like you guys can look up, I think, how many gold contributors and silver contributors we have. Like our community is awesome. Like we can run the forum community off of our contributors. It's great. Thank you.
I just inhaled part of my costume.
That is not recommended. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is still a commercial endeavor, even if it's donated.
Okay, yeah. I just know a lot of like not paid mods sites still have donate buttons, but that is not legal at all, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly it. I think it's more
Not
of
even
a
slightly legal.
it's blind eye as
Yeah.
opposed to legal.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people that are asking why the ads don't make a ton of money. Basically, there's a lot of reasons, but I mean, in short, I guess banner ads on websites are not a way to get rich.
And we have rules because we laid out these rules early on the WAN show publicly. We don't want like animated ads or pop-up ads,
Audio
or
ads. A few
audio
have slipped through the
ads.
cracks. I can assure you that was 100% unintentional. Neither Luke nor I intended for those to be there, and that's a whole other long story.
Yeah.
That we are definitely not going to get into.
Nope.
All right, what else we got here? Oh, this is cool stuff. The FDA approves a cancer-killing virus. Yes, my friends, you can have a virus get in your body, and it can attack cancer. Now, to be clear, this is not like, I don't want to oversell this. This is not the answer to cancer. It's basically specific to skin cancer. It is a specific drug. It's called, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to try. And it only extends the patient's life by, I believe it was an estimated about 4.4 months.
That's something.
Okay,
That's
and
a
it
start.
shrunk tumors for at least 6 months in 16% of patients. So it is doing things, but it's not like this is the magic silver bullet.
But we've got something. That's cool.
But it's the first in like a new class of ways to attack cancer. It's something that's been highly experimental.
IndieGogo.
Yeah, nothing's ever been FDA approved up until now. And that's what's exciting about it, is that now a lot of the experiments that have been going on behind the scenes could be closer to being available to people. It's not cheap. This is always the case with new drugs. I mean, I was talking to my wife about it. So most of you probably don't know this, but my wife's a pharmacist, so she knows a few things about drugs and stuff. And she was saying, because I was talking about like how it's, you know, such a load of crap, like how expensive some drugs are. Like I don't remember if we covered this on the WAN show, but the Canadian government was actually suing a drug company over the price of their drug in Canada. They were like, "This is ridiculous. You know, we're providing healthcare to our citizens. We don't want to pay this much. This is absurd." It was like tens of thousands of dollars for a dose or something stupid like that. Like, it's ridiculous. But she was saying, like, the reason for that is that the cost of developing a drug is super high, and the cost of developing all the drugs that never get approved and never go anywhere is also super high. So when you make that one drug that makes it, you have to make up for all of that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that.
Pharmaceutical industry is also like super corrupt and messed up.
It's also super corrupt, so that is also a factor.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there you go. At least we're making progress. Hopefully cancer is not a thing at some point in the near future, and that would be good for everyone.
Yay.
Okay. Except cancer cells.
Isn't that like straight up impossible?
What?
I've heard that there like definitely will never be an absolute cure.
I don't know.
I've heard that like we might be able to take it back out or something. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Not doctors.
Sponsors for today. I thought, do we have the kit for the third one? Yeah, here it is.
This thing is so badass.
I love this thing. And it's covered by the lower third. That's awesome. First sponsor, Ifixit.
Ifixit.
So basically, what can we say about Ifixit that hasn't already been said before? They have great guides on their website. If you've ever
That's been said
searched,
before.
well, okay, well, thank you. If you've ever searched for how to repair or tear down a laptop or a tablet or a cell phone or even some all-in-one computers and like all kinds of other stuff, actually,
Yeah.
You've probably come across Ifixit. You'll know it's Ifixit because it's the site with the great pictures and the instructions that are actually easy for normal people to follow. And what you probably don't know, or maybe don't know, unless you watch this show because we talk about it all the time, is that aside from their guides, they also have their tools. So this is their, I forget what this one is actually called. This is the Repair Business Toolkit, and it's got a whole whack ton of their tools, pretty much everything you would like normally need. Okay, so anti-static gear, multimeter, these plastic cards that are good for like prying things and flattening things. And
having just a set
holding
of plastic
stuff
cards
apart.
is actually more helpful than you realize.
Yep.
I used to use my like debit and credit cards, and that's just not a good idea.
Really nice microfiber cleaning cloth. I've taken this kit apart and put it back together improperly enough times that I'm really not sure where everything is inside of it. Their ProTech toolkit, which I use all the time. I think we're up to like 5 of them here, but I don't think we can ever have enough of them because it's gotten to the point where instead of assigning them to people and then us having to remember where they are, we just leave them in all the places where we might have to do anything and then we're covered. Their other screwdriver toolkit with the bigger screwdrivers.
Actually super helpful because sometimes having a dedicated screwdriver that has a longer skinner neck,
Someone
skinnier
derped
neck,
and put
so
one of
cool.
our other ProTech toolkits in here.
Hooray.
Cleaning solution, work mat.
Do you have the like jelly tube thing?
The magnetic thing for putting all your screws and labeling where they go. Suction cups for taking off screens and stuff like that. Prying tools that look like they fell out of one of the ProTech toolkits. Way to go, whoever did that. Ah, yes.
There we go.
The heating pad for loosening glue.
That's like my favorite thing in the whole
Yep.
kit.
So you microwave it, if I recall correctly. Yep,
think so.
microwave. Only one eye opener at a time for 30 seconds. Anyway, so there you go. If you want to fix anything, use professional tools because it actually really does help a lot. And if you have a purchase of $50 or more that you want to make over on ifixit.com, you can save $10 by using offer code Linus. Let's move on to, yes, Logitech. So they've got their new gaming headsets out there. I am in progress on my review, so stay tuned for that. But in short, this is the G633 and G933, which are USB or analog, wired or wireless versions of pretty much the same thing. They've completely re-engineered this from scratch, acknowledging everything that was not that fantastic about the G230 and the G430, and they've got a truly, truly high-end option that they're really, really proud of. So it's got support for 7.1 Dolby surround sound. They've got 40mm Pro G audio drivers. They've got adjustable RGB lighting that actually looks surprisingly good. The lighting effect is very even. I was surprised. I hadn't actually really used them. Luke had the first hands-on because he went down to Logitech's place to check it out. It's got a cardioid boom mic that, this is another thing I discovered. It's got like a cool little noise it makes when you mute it. I was like, oh, that's handy. I was using it for a conference call the other day.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh crap, I'm on this call. I super need to be able to work on stuff because this is a super dumb call. and everything they're saying is pointless, but I really need to be here in case there's like some little nugget of useful information. So I threw on the wireless headphones and I was working on some server crap in the meantime. I got a link for you guys to check it out. Boom, right there, just like that. And finally, Freshbooks. Actually, this is cool. So I'll do a really brief rundown.
New feature.
Yes, really cool new feature. So Freshbooks, online accounting, great for small businesses, computer repair, plumbing, whatever else it is. You got an online tool that lets you track your hours, submit invoices to clients, get paid through the app. And here it is, my friends, just launched their deposits feature. So let's say, for example, you were me, like 8 years ago, painting houses in the summer. You take deposits from people because otherwise, oh man, let me tell you, doing something like a house painting job and not taking a deposit, you would show up on the day that you were supposed to be there and like, the house would already be painted, they would forget who you were. Like seriously, there's a lot of benefits to taking a mere 10% refundable deposit. So they just launched their deposits feature. So when you create a new invoice, you'll see the option to request a deposit at the bottom of that invoice and all the usual things that you would normally do. So submitting that online, having them be able to pay through their credit card, through FreshBooks, all that still bueno, but now you can do deposits.
Super helpful.
Super awesome stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. FreshBooks is one of those sponsors we've been using for a long time. Or rather, we've been doing for a long time. And we never got an STD once.
Oh.
He went there. Sorry.
Because it was fresh.
Yeah, FreshBooks has been one of our sponsors for a long time. I have yet to receive a complaint about FreshBooks. And I have said that before about FreshBooks and didn't receive a complaint. Usually when I say that, like
people go
one
like,
person.
oh, well, I had a problem or whatever.
One person is like,
Actually, I had one issue.
So anyway, head over to freshbooks.com/WAN and claim your free trial today.
Now there's less reasons to complain because now you can take deposits.
Yeah, I'm liking that. That's awesome.
That's actually really
that would have been great for me when I was doing the whole house painting thing.
That's great for anyone that does like large project things. Mm-hmm. Because you're committing a lot too. If you show up with paint and stuff, like
show up with supplies.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you can get screwed by not taking a deposit. Even if you take a deposit, you can get screwed.
Yeah.
If they're just like, yep, we're not doing it.
Just not as hard.
Okay, well, I guess I've got this van full of like metal. Thanks for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that these custom cut pieces will be returnable to the place I got them. Jerk. Oh, this is great. Steam Community Discussions is our source for this particular topic here. Batman Arkham Knight is back.
Okay.
Just in time for Halloween, which, by the way, is why we're dressed up. for those of
Just
you
in
who
case
didn't know.
no one got it.
Yeah.
I did not see this in the doc, which is fine. But I heard that they have a new screenshot thing for it. Remember how there was the speed limit 30?
The what?
The Batman Arkham Knight. It had like a advertisement thing.
Oh,
There's a speed limit sign.
yeah,
that said
yeah,
30.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard
yeah.
that there's a new one that says 60 on it.
Really?
I saw it somewhere. I saw the picture, but I couldn't tell if it was photo
that
edited
is
or not.
so funny.
I don't know if that was true.
I'm sure Twitch chat will let us know.
So if that was a real picture, awesome. If it wasn't, like, I don't have a link for it, so I don't know.
People thought the costumes were for a stretch goal. It is October 30th where we're from. In fact, it is October 31st, like over the pond. So this is so funny. This is so funny. People are like, yeah, it's still broken. They're apologizing by giving games that most people own. Like, oh, people are saying, yes, it's real. They changed it. But
That's
then
hilarious.
Twitch chat is full of trolls. Love you guys dearly. All 8,000 of you that are watching the show right now. You guys are all awesome, but you're a bunch of trolls. I love you. You're a bunch of trolls. So I straight up can't believe anything they say. But basically, they're still working on GPU support for SLI and Crossfire, which is like, as far as PC features go,
basically it.
especially given their close relationship with NVIDIA, it's like, I'm sure NVIDIA would be more than happy to straight up send software engineers to go fix it for them.
They do that.
They actually do that. It's the way it's meant to be played title. It has GameWorks. NVIDIA's involvement is real. If they're not supporting SLI, it is straight up negligent. Sorry. Windows 10 users, this is a quote, we found that having at least 12 gigabytes of system RAM on a PC allows the game to operate without paging, because there's still a hard drive paging issue with some GPUs. That may occur after extended gameplay sessions, and they suggest relaunching the game to resolve issues. Like, these are still some pretty game-breaking bugs, which is really unfortunate.
It's just gonna be another one of those games that I just super ignore. I'll never get it, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I honestly, like, I saw this on the doc, but I didn't dig too far into it, because it's one of those things where there's an article, and then there's like the 18 pages of Reddit discussion that has most of the meat of the issue. And that I'm sure Twitch is, oh, apparently sound's cutting out.
We have so many problems with USB cables.
No, I don't think that's the issue. I think they might just be trolling me, because no one else is talking about it.
Oh, well, you called them out for trolling.
I did.
So
I
they're
called them
probably
trolls.
trolling.
You got me. You got me again. So anyway, so my issue with the game is just that it's kind of a turd anyway. So
Speaking of kind of a turd, I heard that Assassin's Creed Syndicate had like very, very low purchases.
yeah. Oh yeah. That
I don't think this is in the doc. I don't think
Yeah.
this was even necessarily from this week.
No, I heard it was the worst yet.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate worst episode ever. Let's see if that brings up. No, that just brings up some Let's Plays. Top 7 Assassin's Creed games ranked worst to best. Whoa, what is this list? Where's Unity on this?
Black Flag was awesome. I could see Black Flag in #1.
Then Revelations, then 2, then 1, then Brotherhood, then Liberation, then 3. Oh, Unity's just not on the list. But it's from November 2014.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I would mostly agree with
That's
that
really
list.
funny. So this article is from
pretty good
pastemagazine.com.
list.
That is
I made shuffle 1 or 2 here, but
that
like
is
no major
pretty
changes.
funny.
That's
Okay, well
awesome.
that was it. So Assassin's Creed Syndicate worst sales. Let's see if we can pull that up. Oh, apparently they are second worst. Second worst in series as fatigue sets in. I don't think it has anything to do with fatigue setting in.
I would love to play more really good Assassin's Creed games. If they felt like Assassin's Creed 2 and the iterations of 2, and if they felt like Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, holy crap, that game was awesome. And like, you know, they've still got it in them because 3 was trash, terrible game, and then 4 was great. 4 was so good, and they should have iterated off of 4. Why did our run with that dude that I don't remember his name end so quickly? I don't know.
All right, what else we got here? Oh, the cancer-killing virus is in here twice. Oh, right. You know what? you'll have to do some kind of topic while I compile all the things for that.
Okay, I'm going to talk about Tesla then. So.
It's like, are you sure?
Oh no, I'll talk about
Are you
this.
sure you don't want to talk about VR? That would be even less your thing. Why don't you just talk about Oculus? Well, you know what? Let's not call it the WAN show anymore. Let's call it the Luc Lafreniere Oculus Tesla Hour.
We had one of those.
Yeah, I know you did.
We had an Oculus Hour. I remember that when they got acquired by Facebook. That was like my favorite WAN show ever. Anyways, ASUS OnHub SRT AC 1900 router. Clean design, on-hub app, can you set up the router, wave control, 7 antennas, 1900 megahertz. You guys know all that kind of stuff because I did the review. Basically, it's from ASUS this time.
I don't think that review's on YouTube yet.
Oh, so it's coming soon and you'll know all that stuff. But I'm not going to bother go through all of it right now because the review's coming and you should just watch that. It's surprisingly good. I was actually really, really impressed.
Bear in mind, a lot of the things you liked about that may not necessarily be applicable to the ASUS version because it is different hardware. It is different hardware. So you should talk probably more about the on-hub experience.
The on-hub experience is a super simplified router experience. There's only one LAN port. There's basically no configuration options. All of that sounds horrible, and it kind of is. But it's really powerful. Its Wi-Fi is very good. The range on it is really strong. The speed through walls and different other obstacles is very consistent. Very fast for what it is. And that's really cool. And one thing that I like a lot is that all of the control that it does have is through an app that you can access from anywhere, and I know that's not a brand new thing, but having it be so simplified and so easy to do basic things and impossible to do advanced things, I know, but so easy to do basic things means you can set up one of these at your mom's house or your grandma's house or whoever's house, and it will probably go far enough and it will probably be fast enough, and it's very good at managing what channel it's on, and then if there are any major problems, you can probably just solve them through the app. So yeah, it's actually a surprisingly good router. I was expecting when I started doing the review to hate it, and at the end, I kind of sort of wanted one for my place.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with so little control?
My Wi-Fi is terrible.
I thought you were using that Meraki thing.
No.
Oh, what happened to
That
that?
thing's only N.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah. So like, and the AC router that I have is like craptastic. So if I use Wi-Fi for too long, I just have to like disconnect and reconnect constantly because it'll just stop serving me Wi-Fi.
All right. So I am ready. I am ready, friends.
I would definitely like more control, and that would actually be a huge problem. But anyways.
Yes. Okay, so I'm actually going to hide us. So I've had a lot of people asking, are the Linus Tech Tips Edition fans that you showed off available for purchase? And the answer before was no, because we were still waiting to get orders from all the retail partners. But everybody has their orders in. The fans are either shipped or shipping very, very soon across the board. So the fans are officially available. So I'm actually gonna, you know what, I'm gonna pick on performance PCs because check this out. They, for nothing, threw banner space on the side and a headline banner at us for people to find the fans. So that's pretty cool. So the retailers that are carrying them are Performance PCs in the US. And you can, actually hey, this is a good opportunity for me to audit everyone's sites and make sure that they've got all the pictures up. Look at that. Very nice. So you've got front and back view of the fan. Brendan did a great job of the product photos, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
They like actually look like professional
it's Brandon,
product photos.
so like,
He took forever.
Of course he did.
But he did a really good job.
Of course he did.
So you can see the, there you go. You can see the orange grommets. This is cool. So this is a neat feature, sort of a feature, I don't know. So it comes with a replacement for the orange fan hub cover, like the fan hub sticker that's just monochrome. So it just...
That's cool, just because you want to take the bumpers off and make it really just kind of black and white fan.
Just a black special edition fan. So the small one right there is an aluminum-backed case badge, and then the big one is an aluminum-backed fan hub sticker that you would use to cover this one. Yep. Oof. Aluminum stickers, man. So you would cover up this one, and then you can actually pull the rubber the rubber noise isolators off, and it'll be completely black/silver if you go ahead and do that. So here you go. That's what the complete breakfast looks like. That's everything it comes with: the fan, the extension, the noise reduction adapter, the noise reducing orange grommets screws, the case badge, and the replacement fan hub sticker. So it's available, and I had a lot of people asking, is it available in 140 millimeter? Yes. Both the NF-F12 and the NF-A14 version are available. And so performance PCs in the US, overclockers.co.uk in the UK, boom. And this is cool. So the way that we handled MSRPs is the sanity way, where it's just a straight currency conversion. So,
yay, we didn't screw over the UK or
Yay.
like other places.
Yep. So straight currency conversion. In Australia, it is PLE computers, and the Aussies are probably looking at that going, well, we got screwed. It's like, I'm sorry, your dollar sucks, but that actually doesn't change my cost on the fan. So, so yeah. And
Our dollar sucks too.
And to be clear, you guys, the reason they're so expensive is that Noctua fans aren't cheap in the first place. So yeah. And then in a move that surprised absolutely no one, the Canadian carrier for these will be NCIX. So my bros over at NCIX also have the NF-F12 and the NF-A14 listed. So regardless of who you order from, they should be getting them around the same time, give or take a couple of days. But if you guys are down for some LTT Edition fans, then check it out. Yes, we know they're expensive. No, we don't expect people to buy a bunch and kit out their whole case. We only made 4,000 of them. So it's more like if someone wanted to have like one 140 millimeter special edition fan for the back of their case. That's kind of what we're expecting people to do. I already know from talking to Performance PCs, who by the way has already sold through almost a fifth of his allocation of 120 mils. So from talking to Hank over at Performance PCs, the feedback is that lots of people are buying more than one, but we're doing it as a limited edition thing. If they sell out really fast, we might do more, but it is not clear if we will do any more. And if we do more, it's quite possible we would just rerun the 120, because right now the 140s, for obvious reasons, are selling quite a bit slower.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There are some people talking about New Zealand. In general, if there isn't a store in their region, is there a process that people go through to do something? What is the best way?
I believe at least a couple of the retailers do ship internationally. NCIX does for sure.
Yeah.
I believe Performance PCs does, because they've shipped stuff to me, and I'm in Canada, so they're in the US.
They've also shipped stuff to me.
And overclockers.co.uk is affiliated with Case King, so it is unclear to me at this time if you will be able to order off of Case King, but I am fairly sure that overclockers.co.uk ships within Europe. So I would expect Europeans to order from overclockers.co.uk. I would expect Americans to order from Performance PCs, Canadians to order from NCIX. If for whatever reason someone else doesn't ship to your area, NCIX would be a good bet, because I know they ship pretty much worldwide. And then PLE is there to cover our Australian, and I would assume shipping to New Zealand would be cheaper from PLE than from like NCIX over the Pacific Ocean. So that was kind of my thought there as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. People are saying
Okay.
Overclockers ships everywhere. There you go.
So basically everyone probably ships everywhere.
Yeah, and I know that shipping is expensive. There is not a lot I can do about that, because we weren't, like, I'm not looking to get into the retail computer hardware business. That is actually not my business model at all. This fan, you know what, maybe I'll talk about the story of this fan.
Been a long time coming, so sure, go ahead.
This fan has been a very long time coming.
Well, you go, I'll be back in a
The
moment.
first time we teased this fan, we were doing the WAN show in Luke's old office at the old place still. We hadn't actually moved into the room where we ended up doing the WAN show for the rest of the time that we were in the old office. And all we teased was that, like, I think we said something along the lines of, like, we drive so much, we knocked out Noctua's site by linking to it, because everyone on the WAN show rushed over there, and we were like, we drive so much traffic for Noctua, and they don't do any advertising with us, but we just love the product, so they should do a custom fan for us. And that was sort of where the seed was planted. And so ever since then, I've been pushing them. I've been like, look, I advocate your product because I love it, because I trust it, because I've seen the return numbers. Like I was the product manager for Noctua and a number of other fan lines, and I had access to information from all of them. I was the category manager for fans at NCIX. So I was like, I trust the product. I know it's reliable. I know it performs great. I've got all these reasons that I love it. But you guys don't believe in advertising in these ways that we do advertising. So I want a custom fan. And I had a lot of people, when we teased the idea that we wanted to do a custom fan,
It just looked cool.
we had a lot of people saying, oh, are you going to do it with this? Are you going to do it with that? Are you going to do it with that? I basically dug in my heels and I said, no, we are doing it with the NFF12. And if we can't do it with the NFF12, I'm not doing it with anything because I know it's expensive. We could have done a $9.99 LTT Edition fan. 100%. I could have done that, no problem. But the reason that we're doing this is because this is the first time that we're putting our name on an actual computer product that you put in your computer. So I didn't want anything that I wasn't 100% certain of. So I was like, nope, we're doing it with that, or we're doing it with nothing. So I have waited, this must be about 2 years now, until they finally agreed a number of months ago to actually do it. We reached an agreement about, what we would be able to customize, what we wouldn't. We didn't customize much because I'm not an engineer. In fact, it comes with a little note from me inside the package where I explain I am not an engineer. I did not design your fan, and that is a good thing. We didn't change much because it made the importing of the product simpler. It didn't have to go through any recertification processes or anything like that. Because we meant for it to just be, hey, here's a cool product that is good, that has our name on it, that we're okay with that, and that...
They can't read it at all.
Because fanboy.
It says because fanboy. And fan is in quote marks.
And that if you want to contribute to Linus Tech Tips, but you don't want a shirt, or you don't want a badge next to your name on the forum, but hey, you do need a new fan, and you don't mind spending a couple bucks for a high-quality fan, go for it.
And one
LTT
thing
fan.
that I would pimp right now for Noctua is that they have swappable colors of their noise dampening
Yeah, those are
bumpers.
coming. So
Yeah.
actually, if you buy the LTT Edition fan, which is, I believe, about the same price as the industrial ones, although not waterproof or dustproof, it's just the standard fan, but it is about as expensive as the industrials. It runs at a lower RPM by default. So
The industrials are kind of loud, though.
they are, exactly.
Yeah.
So even when you control them, you can't control them as low as you can a regular NFF12. So if you just want a black NFF12, and you want to swap out the colors of the corner pieces, which Noctua has kits coming, or you just want a black fan, it's actually a great option if you were going to buy Noctuas anyway, and you just want a black fan. So there you go. People are saying restock them to the US. These are pre-orders. They're actually not shipped yet. There will be plenty for all. Every retailer that I listed, those are all pre-orders. But don't worry, the product is good. I have held it in my hands. It is awesome. And yeah. Can you put them on a radiator? It's an NFF12. It is about as good as it gets for a radiator.
It's
an NFA14, which is also very good for a radiator. Great for radiators, great for heat sinks, pretty good for just case airflow, but like overkill for case airflow. You don't need that kind of static pressure. Very good for things like hard drive cages. It's got very directed airflow, very high static pressure. So anywhere where you've got a tight grill, you've got any obstructions like hard drive cages, heatsink fins, radiator fins, this is a fantastic fan. Why not LED fans? Because LED fans are...
Just put LEDs in your system.
Yeah.
It's way better.
Yes.
Way better.
All
And
right.
there's like pretty good LED strips these days. And you can get ones that like you can change the color of with the remote and stuff. Like, get those ones.
All right, let's go ahead and you know what? Where should we put links to all that stuff? Like, should I just put links to, like, you know what? Why don't I just do links in the chat of each one? So there you go. For the Canadians, there's NCIX, and I'm sure you guys are super smart and you can find the other version of the fan if you really want. So there's PLE. If you guys haven't heard of any of these stores, then great. And we actually, this is more like, I'm sorry, I don't want to like waste your guys' time. So if you're bored of this, then just let me know. But we have also got some pretty exciting other merch news. Our sample arrived. Yes.
Is he here?
I doubt it. You can go check. Do you want to see if he's here? But I have a picture. Like I have a picture that we posted on Twitter.
I know, but it's way cooler if we could show it in person.
Yeah. So we got our sample of the Linus Tech Tips WAN hoodie from G8. So if you guys have ever seen like the NVIDIA LAN hoodie that they did, that was freaking awesome. Basically, I got one of those. This is also an incredibly long story. So I got one of those 2 years ago at NVIDIA's G-Sync launch event. That's when the seed was planted for this. And it has taken this long to go through all the iterations of designing this, all the waiting, all the just, it took forever. We just didn't have time to work on it, and it was also time consuming. But we got our sample of the LTT LAN hoodie, and that will be available in like, I don't know, 16 weeks or something like that. Like it's a ways out, but what I'm kind of thinking, because we can't just sell these through Teespring because it's a G8 product, like it's not just, like it's completely customized, like custom color of the strings, you know, like custom tag on it, like all this stuff. Oh, awesome. Ed's got it. So Ed, you can be my model. You go here. So Ed actually designed it pretty much from scratch, other than like taking sort of the ideas for, that logo was painstakingly crafted by Ed Yago. So like things like the zipper layouts are not done by him, but the design on the inside of the hood, which says, it's actually got a typo. This is thankfully.
Well, no. It's not a typo.
Oh.
I made the text grungy and like put in scratches, and I scratched out part of the L and turned it into an I.
So it's INUS Tech Tips. It's got 2 I's, so we're gonna fix that in the real one. But it says that on the inside. The back has got kind of like kind of a grungy, like WAN logo inspired thing.
On the
other side, Linus Tech Tips logo. So, so what I'm kind of thinking is if the fan thing goes well, I'm gonna try and talk our reseller network into selling these as well, even though they're not really computer products. And like, who knows? Maybe that'll be like a really unique and cool way that LMG can do merch moving forward. They can hear you, by the way. You can talk too. Headphone wire management things on the inside and the outside.
I don't think they can see that.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to see that.
But this one actually saved my headphones yesterday when we were running around in the corn maze. My headphones fell out of my ears, but was kept by the loop.
So there you go.
Okay, I'm going to go.
All right. Thanks, Ed. See you. Have a great weekend.
I like pulled him out of his car.
Oh, really?
He was leaving. I was like, come on, you gotta show the way, show your sweater.
Yes.
Car was on, like, just about to pull out. I'm like, no. Show them the sweater.
So to be clear, guys, it's a G8 brand hoodie, and it's like really nice. Like it's a light material, but like a quality material. Like that was why I wanted it. Again, it was one of those things where I was like, nope, I want this one. And if we can't do this one, then I'm not going to. So we figured it out. G8's been great. They put together we were gonna order 300. Now that I've seen it, I think we're gonna order like 600.
Nice.
But it's not gonna be cheap. Okay, like not gonna be cheap. So G8, our cost from G8 is not cheap. We will need resellers to sell this for us because I can't pull, Luke and Nick and Ed off of their regular duties to pack boxes and ship things out the door. Not to mention that our shipping rates would be atrocious because we don't ship in high enough volume. So the resellers are going to need their margin and we're going to need our margin. So I'm expecting them to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of about $100. So they are not going to be cheap.
For a sweater, I don't think that's that. I don't shop for clothes.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
For like a generic.
How much does a hoodie cost, guys?
Yeah, for like a generic cotton hoodie, I think they're like $60. I don't know. So I kind of figure for that, but it would be like $100 US. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty ouch. But
okay, apparently that's high. I don't shop for clothes.
It's high in the context of our audience.
I haven't bought a hoodie since I was in like grade 6.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So anyway, people are saying like $30. Like, no.
There's no way.
It's way below the cost.
Yeah.
Way below cost. Sometimes things cost money, especially when they're custom. So this will be very custom.
And there's a lot of cool features and stuff. Like
Yep.
the pockets on the inside are pretty badass. The cable management stuff is pretty badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Sometimes things just are what they are, and that's how it is. All right, so what else we got here? I mean, there's not much time left, but I guess we don't have a whole lot of
you have time for after party?
I think I have to shoot fast as possible again today. Oh, you mean the Ultra Wide Festival after party?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should just end. Okay, why don't we do a couple like super rapid fire topics? So
Okay.
Apple's profits break all records for all companies ever. So they're a staggering almost 10 billion ahead of the previous record set by ExxonMobil in 2008. So there you go.
God.
Most profitable year ever.
So apparently they're doing kind of okay without Steve Jobs.
Yep. Selling lots and lots of iPhones. Let's see.
There's the Tesla topic. Basically, we don't have to go watch the video or anything, but basically there was an Uber driver and someone did a like super bad U-turn right in front of him and they would have had a head-on collision, but the car stopped before he could even like honk the horn. So I guess, yeah, we're going to see it. So that guy, super not good. Car stopped, saved him. Pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
There's some sensational stuff in the thing where it's like, I could have died. Like, I kind of doubt it. I don't think they were going that fast.
Yeah, they weren't going that fast.
But like, it's still cool that it stopped.
This is interesting. This is actually, I wish we had talked about this earlier on in the show. AT&T Data Perks offers little bits of data, snippets of data on your plan for completing various tasks. So this is basically straight up one of those like, complete surveys to earn cash for surveys. Except it's
so
like
brutal.
AT&T. So it's an iOS and Android app. It's called Data Perks. So you can take surveys, you can shop and sign up for subscriptions in exchange for data.
Of course you can shop and sign up for subscriptions. That's so bull.
That can be transferred to your wireless account. AT&T says subscribers are allowed to transfer up to a gig to their wireless account each month within a billing period. And I believe they actually expire outside of that billing period, although don't quote me on that one. Basically, it's like super lame. And Android Police pointed out that most offers net 25 to 50 megs.
Oh my god.
It's like, wow. Wow. And it's possible to earn more, but a lot of the time that involves purchasing or subscribing to something.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah. This is interesting. So more details on YouTube Red. So I actually have a call that I need to get on with my YouTube contact on, I think, Monday. I told him I wasn't able to do it today. He wanted to talk today. Because the word on the street was that YouTube Red, similarly to how Apple was planning to handle their music service, was not going to pay creators during the trial period. This headline says, will pay video makers during free trial after concerns. Through email, I haven't got all the details, something, Google Play Music subscribers are being transferred to YouTube Red, and you're going to get some of that, but I don't know, something. So we'll see. We'll see how all this goes, because as much as, you know, I'm gonna totally pull a Taylor Swift here. As much as that income will not make or break Linus Media Group, this is not about Linus Media Group, because AdSense makes up a small portion of what we do, because...
And some people are much more heavily reliant on AdSense.
Yep. We diversified. We saw, I mean, I'm not going to call us geniuses or anything, but we saw this coming. No, we didn't see YouTube Red coming specifically, but we saw YouTube basically changing the rules and going sign up or GTFO. We saw that coming a million miles away, and so we are also on Vessel, which does a lot to support our business, and a huge thanks to our viewers who watch on Vessel. We also have merch. We also have subscribers on our forum that contribute to us. Like, we have a lot of different ways. We do a lot of our own ad integrations, as you guys know. So we are far less reliant on AdSense than many other creators. So this is not about us. It's just wrong. It's wrong to offer a free trial and then take that out of someone else's pocket. Google, this is your service. You eat it. So, yeah, there you go. So anyway, I will clarify, hopefully next week, once I actually get a better understanding of what exactly is going on, because right now it's not 100% clear to me. I think that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching the WAN show today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. I forgot to set up the intro properly, so it'll show an ad spot for a second here. We are going to do a very short after. You know what? No, I will find out if we are going to do a very short after party. I'll be right back.
You're just leaving?
Yep.
Can I roll the thing?
I don't know.
I'm not here. Don't look at me. We don't have any topics left. I don't know what to talk about. I filmed the beginning of probably one of the coolest build logs I've ever been a part of today. I still have a whole bunch left to film. It's sitting right over there off camera. So it's like just outside of the frame and you can't see it. Super epic. So far everything is actually working and actually going according to plan. This is probably one of the riskiest build logs I've ever tried to do, and it would really suck if it ended in a failure. So yeah, hoping it works out. I don't know when the video is going to come out for it. Hopefully relatively soon. But yeah, that's been a hell of a thing. Yeah, hopefully it looks good and hopefully it runs well. Both of those two things are still very much up in the air in terms of variables. I think it could run very well and look super awesome, or it could run pretty okay and look super trash. It'll run at least a little bit though. Anyways, I don't even think there is any more news topics at all. Apparently we are not doing the after party because Linus's wife really wants to go home, which is super fair. So we're gonna roll the intro.
Good stalling.